this weekend, we're looking at the words of St. John, famous as we see them many times, especially at sporting events. John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him may not perish, but may have eternal life. What powerful words they are, but also we look to see what they mean. Knowing those words mean nothing if we don't understand them. God the Father gives his only begotten Son. God the Son does everything he can that you and I may have eternal life. If we believe that, which we as Catholics do, then ask me or answer me this question. Why are there people walking around afraid they won't be good enough to get to heaven, who believe in those words? Why are there people who also believe in those words going around and telling others they're not going to be good enough to get to heaven? How does that make any sense? First of all, let me give you an answer very quickly. None of us is good enough to get to heaven. If you think that you can find a way to make yourself good enough to get to heaven, you're a heretic. Because that's a heresy. The heresy is called Pelagianism, and it says that you and I have the ability to earn our way into heaven and be good enough to get there. We don't believe that. That's why we call it a heresy. Then the next response we see is that understanding that Jesus says, I will do everything I can that you may have eternal life. You only have to respond to me. Think of this as a journey. I'm going to lead you on the journey. And then Jesus saying to us, I'm going to lead you on the journey. And we say, but Lord, are we going to make it? He says, have faith in the fact that I'm going to lead you on the journey and you're going to make it. But there's all kinds of treacherous and troublesome things there. Have faith in the fact that I will lead you on the journey. You will make it. Just follow me. And that's what Jesus says. So when we turn around and say, well, I don't think I'm good enough to get to heaven, well, again, first of all, you're not. But secondly, wait a minute. It's not you that gets you there. It's Jesus giving all he has that gets you there. But what about being good? Well, that is responding to his grace in our life. As a matter of fact, the response of being good doesn't come from John, it comes from James. And that is, we live our faith. We believe and we act on the faith in which we believe. That's the difference. We can say we believe and do nothing, but that shows that we really don't believe. It's, for example, I can say that I am a citizen of the United States and do everything I can to undermine everything the United States stands for. I may believe or say I believe in the principles of the United States, but it's obviously, in that case, I don't. Now, just for the record, yes, I do. I do believe in the principles of the United States. Well, it's the same thing. If I say, yes, I believe in what the Catholic faith teaches, and then do everything I can to reject it, then obviously I don't. And that's what St. James was talking about. But if I believe in what Jesus says, and I say, you know, Lord, I hear what you call me to do, but I know I'm not capable within myself to do it on my own, he'll respond, I know that. Don't worry about that part. Just follow me, and I will lead you there. One of my favorite examples of this is something that actually got me prevented from doing Mass in a Catholic high school. Because my homily was simple, and it really is very clearly stated in today's gospel. God cheats. It's really simple, and you can understand why saying something like that is going to get me prevented from doing Mass in another Catholic high school. God cheats. Because he does. Oh, see, well, this is the rule. You have to follow this rule, and if you don't follow this rule, you don't get it to heaven. And God says, don't worry about it. I'll take care of you. I will give you the answers. So in a sense, God cheats. That's the reality. That's what Jesus says. So the minute you hear those words, or even more so, the minute you hear someone say, well, I don't know if I'm good enough to get to heaven, or I don't know if I can get to heaven, you can respond by saying, it's not about you doing what you can so that you can reach a certain standard that allows you to get into heaven. This isn't school. It's about you responding to God's grace and let him take care of the rest. And that's the passage. So the next time someone says, well, why should I follow this Catholicism anyway? I know I'm not good enough to get to heaven. You can turn around and say, but isn't that the point of what Jesus said in John 3:16? None of us are good enough. All we do is give of ourselves, we respond to God's grace, and let God take care of the rest of it. Jesus will take care of it. So remember that. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believes in him may not perish, but may have eternal life. God bless you.